What's good? It's the Ruckus with another action figure review. This time we are talking about the end of the road. What road? The road totally traveled by you, myself, and the 7 figures that are part of the X-Men Nemesis wave. We went through the 7 figs and we collated all of the pieces, and now we're here to build Nemesis, son of Apocalypse. And quite the journey. Pretty decent wave, pretty nice wave. I'm not going to just cut it short and say decent. It's a very nice wave, but we'll see the figures again at the end of this video. The pieces we've collated, the parts we've collated, required the participation of 6 of the figures. The 7th, Wolverine, which was technically the first, did not come with the Build-A-Figure piece. The other 6 did, and it goes a little something like this. Nightcrawler came with the helmet, Gambit came with the right leg, Cyclops came with the right arm, Marrow came with the left arm and hand, Husk, she came with the torso straight up, and Fabian Cortez, he came with the left leg. So that's what it takes to put together a Nemesis. A little something about Nemesis. He was originally called Holocaust, and this was in the AOA. He was born in the AOA, which stands for Age of Apocalypse for any who don't know. Especially since one of the figures in the wave, Gambit, is also from that timeline, from that universe. And he was one of the characters that got swept up at the end of that storyline when that universe basically got, technically it was cut off. You know, if you watched the Loki series, especially season 2, you know what I mean when I say it was cut off. It was basically, we'll call it pruned. If you don't understand that, go see that series and you'll understand more. Anyway, Nemesis made his way into the 616. Eventually, he actually made his way through several different timelines, and this was chronicled in the comic book Exiles. And all of the characters in the Exiles came from different universes and came together to form a group. And they actually faced off against Nemesis, who his name was changed for him, by the way. Like I said, he was originally called Holocaust, but take that word and you know what the implications, what it means towards the victims of the Holocaust back in World War II. And out of respect for them, Hasbro changed the name, or rather I should say Marvel changed the name way before Hasbro ever did. Marvel changed the name to Nemesis, and that has stuck. So that's what we got here. This Nemesis is the same cat, but he is existent in the 616, and this uniform, this armor that he's wearing is not the same as what he wore in the AOA. What he wore in AOA had a yellow, it was like a yellow coloration, and it had, you could see, I think it was yellow. The reason it was yellow was because it was trying to demonstrate that it was really technically transparent, translucent, whatever, and the yellow signified his power, his energy, just all over the place. He actually had a physical form at one time, and through some accident, mishap, whatever, he ended up losing his physical form and became basically energy, a skeleton, and comprised of energy. And that's why the armor is necessary. He, I think the armor wasn't only yellow, which I don't think it was truly yellow. I think that's what it was showing. It was energy. You also could see the pulses, like the balls of energy throughout the armor. So that's what leads me to believe that it was basically transparent. But anyway, it's neither here nor there because he's not wearing that anymore. He's wearing what we see before. And looks like a great figure. We'll see when he gets put together. But I will say this. I do wish that we did get an original Nemesis. We need more bad guys for the AOA. You could work this in if you wanted to, but it wouldn't be the same. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. We've been in this for about 5 minutes. Now it's time to put them together. So, of course, we've got to grab the torso, which straight up, let's just look at it, looks pretty cool. You see that skull and the fire blazing around it. That's pretty cool. We'll start with the legs. So I've got the left leg here. Just will work it in. It looks like it'll pop in once I work it in good enough. And it did. We'll take the right leg and do the same thing. And work that in. And yep, that's got that. So without even going any further, let me just do this. So you can see he is going to be a big boy. We will take that left arm and do the same thing. Work that in, and it's in there. We're going to take the right arm, the gun arm, and do that same thing. Not letting me down, not yet. The tube is going to get administered momentarily. We're going to take this rear harness, this right here, and we've got peg holes back there. We'll apply them and push those in and push them in deep so that they kind of sort of get flush and look seamless that way. And then we have, I think what goes next is the, I want to say, yes, the this apparatus right here. It pegs into these holes. I believe I'm getting that right. Hopefully I'm not messing that up. Get that pegged in. So that's pegged in. And now finally the helmet. And we've got pegs at the top of his clavicle area. And they go in like that. And then you bring that harness over and you press that in there like that. As far as this tube is concerned, it goes into one of these ports that you have back here. So I'll shove that in. And I'll back him up and stand him up. And that is our Nemesis. He is a big boy. Let me zoom out a little bit because part of him is being cut off. So, and I see that my background is being exposed, so let me move that also. And I think that will have to do it, as I can still back him up a little bit more. And I wanted to do that. I took the time to do that because this is a Build-A-Figure, and I do something I always do sporadically, but I try to be consistent when it comes to the baths, and that's take the height measurement, because size is definitely relative when it comes to Build-A-Figures. And this guy is nearly 9 inches tall. If we were to measure to the back of those exhaust pipes, he would be 9 inches tall, if not exceeding that. But yeah, he's nearly 9 inches tall, so he's a big boy. We got to give him that. As far as his articulation scheme is concerned, obviously, you know, you're not getting anything with the helmet. The arms can rotate. He does have somewhat of a, well, yeah, he does have a butterfly joint in there, but it's very recessed. So you're not going to get much, especially going forward, trying to clasp. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double jointed elbows. Since it's mechanical, they've managed to hide what's supposed to be the pins very well, especially on the gauntlet side of the arm, of the forearm. His wrist swivels and it hinges horizontally. He's on a diaphragm, so you're going to get all of your articulation that way, left, right, both tilting and rotating. And he goes, he can bend forward very little, just that much, and back a lot more. His legs, he can do the splits that far apart, and he can kick. He can get basically 90 on his kick, and go back and out that much. He's got the double jointed knees, and once again, their pins are kind of sort of hidden because they're not hidden. You can see them, but because this is a set of armor, it blends nicely. As far as his feet are concerned, he can point his toe that far forward, that far up. He's got ankle pivot, and he has peg holes at the bottom of the feet that are curiously smaller than what you get on a regular size figure. So that's pretty cool. If I lift the helmet up, disconnect this, and draw the breather back and remove the helmet, his head does, oh, I was out of frame, sorry. His head does swivel. So you can get that, and it does tilt. So you can get some, you can definitely get some attitude with this guy. And he needs it because he is, he is in some ways worse than his dear old dad, for sure. But I digress. You have to read the storylines to understand what I'm talking about. So that is the what am I trying to say? The articulation scheme on Nemesis. Here is Nemesis with dear old dad. Yes, indeed. We're talking about En-Sabah, aka Apocalypse, Age of Apocalypse. And here's the comparison that we all want to see. We have the original Nemesis by Hasbro, and believe it or not, this was also a Build-A-Figure, and you see the differences. The most glaring after the color change is the blaster arm was on his left back in the day, and you see it is on the right side now. So yeah, that's pretty curious. Of course, the Build-A-Figure, the old Build-A-Figure was smaller in stature compared to what we got going on now. It was still bigger than most of the figures back then, but you see the difference, and you can also see the improvements in just the design of the action figures themselves. So you definitely can see that. And something else, back when I reviewed Marrow, who came with the left arm for Nemesis, and I made mention of it never dawned on me that he only had 3 fingers. Well, he didn't. Or at least his armor didn't show that he did back in the Age of Apocalypse. That right arm on the original Build-A-Figure has 4 fingers and an opposable thumb. So that's something to think about. Other than that, pretty cool. The helmet on the original Build-A-Figure, it flips up, but there was a problem with most. They always would break. Mine is broken, so that's why it's on there. I can remove it, but I can't just flip it up. You know, that one of the pegs that holds it in place so it can swing open, it broke off. So this is what we got. But it's you can see the difference between the old and new. And here finally we have, for our parting shot, we have got the entire wave of the Nemesis, the X-Men Nemesis wave, including Nemesis himself. I figured I may as well get it in because he is a big bad, and it's pretty cool to have a scene of everybody against the main character in this storyline. And this storyline is the Nemesis Build-A-Figure and the X-Men wave leading up to it. And so we can go through it all. We have on our far left Husk, then we have Marrow, and we've got Extreme X-Men Wolverine. Above we've got Uncanny X-Force Nightcrawler. In the back there, we have Age of Apocalypse Gambit, and the one that doesn't really care because he's not such a good guy himself, Fabian Cortez of the Acolytes. And right here, with his back to us because he's kind of busy, we have got X-Factor Cyclops doing his thing right now. And of course, the center of attention is the Build-A-Figure himself. We're talking about the son of En-Sabah, aka Apocalypse, Nemesis. I think this is a great wave. To me, I loved it. I love the theme of the wave, and that's basically giving us characters that we know, several. In fact, we got 4 characters in this wave. The heroes, the good guys that we know that are X-Men, but were in different costumes on different teams, different timelines. And I think that that was a nice, unique way of doing things. We got Marrow, who has been requested before. We finally got her. She was good. We got Husk, Paige Guthrie, Cannonball's sister. And I don't know how requested she was, but I think it's a good figure. The skin accessory is it's a new level. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? Nightcrawler from X-Force and from another universe, another timeline, and another paint job on that particular buck, which I think is pretty cool. And speaking of Nemesis and Age of Apocalypse Gambit, who I'll speak about next, I think Hasbro can, get another paint job out of this buck and give us an AOA Nightcrawler, but that's to be determined. Speaking of Gambit, we've got another member of the Age of Apocalypse, and I'm here for it. I want more. You already heard me campaign about getting a Nightcrawler, so you already know what time it is with me. The Extreme X-Men Wolverine. You always know we're going to get a different Wolverine, some kind of Wolverine in an X-Men wave, and this time it came out pretty nice because I always did like his Extreme costume. And of course, Fabian Cortez. We have got the beginning of a new line of a team, the Acolytes. So hopefully we'll get more, and hopefully we won't have to wait too long. And this blue and yellow X-Factor version of Cyclops is banging. It's on the Vulcan body. We got the banging optic blasts, and this go round we got the impact portion of those blasts. That's really great. If I have to rate all of these guys, and it's pretty difficult to do so, I'm going to go ahead and put Cyclops at the top, just because I like that the coloration, the yellow and the blue, and those optic blasts with that impact is just, that takes it over the top to me. I'm loving that. Next up will be Extreme Wolverine. I love that costume. And then, I got to pick one or the other when it comes to Nightcrawler or Gambit. I'm going to go with Nightcrawler, and then I'll put Gambit and Marrow. And then I will go with Fabian Cortez, and then bringing up the rear is Husk. But she is by no means, a figure that I don't like or anything like that. Got to number him some kind of way, right? So that's the number. And as far as the Build-A-Figure himself, Nemesis is all that, and 15 bags of chips. Banging. I do hope that we get revisited and get Nemesis in his original form. And the wild thing is, if we were to, it can't be a repaint, because you saw my comparison. That other costume, totally different than this one, especially when you consider that the weapons arms are reversed. In the original costume, his blasting arm was his left arm, and he had 4 fingers. So if we get the original, it's going to be an all-new sculpt. So here's hoping for that. The other thing that I hope for is that you guys will like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and you will leave your comments below on what you think about this wave, the X-Men Nemesis wave. It's a different kind of X-Men wave. We got our mutants, our merry mutants, and Hasbro found a way to flip it. I like the wave. I love the wave. I can't even front. It is what it is. But what do you guys think? Let me know below. Also hit the notification bell, and you'll be informed the next time I upload another video. And I don't know what's up next, but it'll be something. Anyway, you guys, thanks for rocking with me for these 8 videos with the X-Men Nemesis wave, and I will see you next time. Peace.